Hi, and welcome to multiplication of decimals. This is an explanation of how to do the math in preparation for the Unit 3 retake. So the process to multiply decimals, the first thing that you have to do is you have to remove the decimals. And then, of course, you have to put them back. So how do you remove the decimals? You want to count the number of decimal places in the first number, count the number of decimal places in the second number. You want to add those up together because that's going to be the total number of decimal places that you need to put back into your answer. After you've done that, you want to write the problem down without decimals, and you want to multiply either using stacks or the rectangle method, whichever is best for you, up to you completely. Then when you get that final answer, you want to put those decimals back in. So let's take a look. Okay, so for our first problem, we're going to take 1.2, we're going to multiply it by 3.4. So like I said, the first thing that we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to count up how many decimals we have in total. So we have one decimal here plus one decimal here. That means we have two total decimals that we want to end up putting back when we're done with our problem. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to rewrite the problem. So we're going to end up doing 12 times 34. So there's two ways you can do it. I'm going to show you both, each one of the problems. The first way is to stack. Something that you need to think about when you stack, so stacking, is that the bigger number goes on top. So the bigger number is on top, which would mean 34 would be on top. It just makes the math easier. So if we did 34 times 12, now, if this is a method you're familiar with, this should all make sense. 2 times 4 is 8, and then 3 times 2 is 6. When we move to our second row, we are now not doing unit multiplication, we are doing tens. So we have to fill in a 0 in the unit column. Then we do 1 times 4, which is 4, and 1 times 3, which is 3. We're going to add those up together. 8 times 2, I'm sorry, 8 plus 0. I got some weird thing going on here. That's a plus sign right there. Okay, 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 and 4 is 10. Carry the 1. 3 and 1 is 4. Okay. We have two decimal places, so we want to put those back in. Our decimal always lies at the very end. That would be our plus 1. And then here's one more for another plus 1. So 1 plus 1 does equal 2. Our decimal resides right there. So the answer to this multiplication problem is 4.08. So next up, I'm going to show you how to use the rectangle method. A lot of my students really like doing that. We're going to have a rectangle. We have two numbers that have a 10 and a unit. So we're just going to multiply, we're going to divide this like this. Doesn't matter which goes where. So for the 12, we would have 10. And we would have 2. For the 34, we'd have 30, and then we'd have 4 left over. So what you want to do is you want to multiply 30 times 10. 3 times 1 is 3, and there's 2 zeros to bring along. 4 times 10. 4 times 1 is 4, and there's 1 0 to bring along. 30 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6, and there's 1 0 to bring along, and 4 times 2 is 8. I like to add up going down. I think everybody has a different way of doing it. So 300 plus 40 is 340. And then 60 plus 8 is 68. Then I just stack this way. You can see I kind of have the exact same numbers as I do over there. I'm going to have 8 and 0, carry the 1, and 4. I'll take my two decimal places, and there you go. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Again, we want to count our decimals, so we're going to have two decimal places here plus one decimal place there. That's going to give us 3 that we need to put back in. Let's rewrite our problem. 352 times 24. If we were doing our regular stack method, we have 352 times 24. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 4 is 0, carry the 2. 14 plus 2, or 12 plus 2 is 14. We are done with that. Put our 0 in to cover our unit space. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 5 is 0, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now we're going to add that up together. 8 and 0 is 8, 4 and 0 is 4, 4 and 0 is 4, and 7 and 1 is 8. Okay, we have 3 decimal places, so we're 1, 2, and 3. So our answer to this problem would be 8.448. All right, let's give it a try using the rectangle method. Let me change the color of my pen. Okay, so here we go. We're going to make this one nice and long. We're going to still go in half, but this top number is a 300 number, so we need 3 spots for it. So we have 300, we have 50, and then we have 2. We have 20 and 4. So if we go ahead and start doing our multiplication, we have 3 times 2, which is 6, and we have 1, 2, 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 times 4, which is 12, and we have 2 zeros. We have 5 times 2, which is 10, and 2 more zeros. And then we have 5 times 4, which is 20, and another 0. We have 2 times 2, which is 4, and there's our last 0, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So again, I'm going to add up going down. So when I do that, I'm going to get 7200 plus 1200 plus 48. So I'm just going to add again. I have 1200. I'm just going to add 2 at a time. 0, 0, 4, and 8. And then I'm going to add the 48 in. And lo and behold, I get the same answer. And I know I need 3 decimal places, and there you go. Okay, let's try 2 more. So I have 1 plus 1, which means I'm going to end up putting 2 decimals back. I'm going to rewrite it as 235 times 14. I will do my stack math. 14. 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 12 plus 2 is 14, carry the 1. 8 and 1 is 9. I'm done with both of those. Put my 0 in for the units place. And I have 1 times 5, 5. 3 times 1, 3. 2 times 1, 2. Add that up, 0, 9, 2, carry the 1, and 3. Then I need to put my decimal places back, and there are 2 of them, so 1 and 2. So my answer to this is 32.90. All right, let's go ahead and, excuse me, do it using the rectangle method. So here we go. We'll make ourselves a rectangle. I'm going to divide it in half because we have 2 numbers. I have big and less big, and then small. I'm going to have a 200, a 30, and then a 5. I'm going to have a 10 and a 4. So 2 times 1 is 2, and I have 3 zeros. 2 times 4 is 8, and I have 2 zeros. 3 times 1 is 3, and I have 2 zeros. 3 times 4 is 12, and 1 0. 5 times 1 is 5, with 1 0, and 5 times 4 is 20. So I like to add down, as I have said already. You probably do it a different way, and that's all fine. So if I have this, this column right here, I have 2, 8, 0, 0, plus, let's see, 1, nope, that's going to be 4, 2, 0, plus 70. Okay, so I'm going to add 4, 2, 0 here, 0, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, carry the 1, that gives me a 3, and then I have 70, which is 3290. I'm going to add in my decimal places, and I do get the same answer. Excellent. Always nice to check. All right, last problem, best problem. I have 2 plus 2. That means I'm going to have 4 decimals this time. All right, let's see what that means for us. So I have 47 times 13. I'll stack first, 47 times 13. 7 times 3 is 21, carry the 2, 12 and 2 is 14, 0 for the units, done with that. 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 4 is 4, I'm going to add those up. 1, 7 and 4 is 11, carry the 1, 5, 6, so 6, 1, 1. Oh dear, and look at that. So I have a decimal place that's here. and I'm going to need to move it 4. I already know I have to add a 0 because 1, 2, 3, and 4. So my answer is leading with a 0, 0.0611. All right, let's double check that using the rectangle method. So here we go. We don't need as big a one this time. And we just need 2. So we'll have 40 and 7, and we'll have 10 and 3. So let's go ahead and do that math. 4 times 1 is 4, and there are 2 zeros. 4 times 3 is 12, and there's 1 0. 7 times 1 is 7, and there's 1 0. 3 times 7 is 21. All right, let's go ahead and add down. It's going to give me 0, 2, and 5. And that's going to give me 91. All right, so we're going to add over here 91. Times 0, 1 is 1, and 9, 10, 11. 1 carry the 1, and that's a 6. Again, I have those 4 decimals, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is the same answer. Hopefully this helped. Good luck on your retake.